Hey y'all. Oh, I gotta grab my notes. Come on in, y'all. Thank you so much for being here. As you come in, if you will, hit the like button. I would appreciate it. Thank y'all so much for the subscribers that has gotten us where we are today. Thank you for those new members that we have. Hey, Alberta. Hey, Harlem. Hey, everybody. I gotta grab my notes really quick. I'll be right back. But thank you guys so much. Thank you for hitting the like as you come in. That supports the channel. That keeps us in the algorithm. And we are on our way up. We're on our way up. Give me just a second. I got to grab my notes. All right, so I'm back. I'm ready to talk about it. I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about what went on today, but we're going to talk about it as well and get it out there. So as you come in, hit the like button. Hey, Montana. Hey, Alberta. I already said how hi to Alberta, but hi again. And everybody that's in the chat, if you come in, just say hi to us. Thank you for being here. If you haven't already, go ahead and device is not connected. If you're not already, go ahead and become a member. We're getting ready to start having some exclusive guests, some exclusive content that we will have for members only as we build our membership up. So if you haven't already, go check the memberships and the perks out over there. And hit the like button. The link is in the chat if you guys want to come up on stage and give your opinion about what's going on. We would appreciate that. I don't know what happened to that one. Hey, Harlem.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good.
Let's see. Oh, Bridget. Bridget, you in here? Because it's not. Yep, she is. There she is. Okay, I think I got her. Bridget? Okay, she got it up there. All right, anybody else that wants to come up on the stage? Montana, you might as well come on up here too. I wish Willie, wherever Willie went, I wish he would come back. But okay, we're gonna talk about it. So today, like we all, and I think everybody that is reporting on this Diddy story, this P. Diddy Sean Combs trial, really expected, like I really expected that the prosecution was working on that response to the mistrial request, and they said they'll get it to him by tomorrow. So that's going to be a discussion for tomorrow. Now, there's been a lot of talk that there's not going to be a mistrial. People really believe there's not going to be a mistrial, and then on the other side, people really believe like he got this nailed to the coffin. So we'll see what happens tomorrow, but it will be interesting to find out, just like we thought it was going to be today, but it's tomorrow. So excuse me, my looks. I have my granddaughter. I didn't have time to get all her lashes on those. So anyway, again, hit the like button. Thank you for being here. So let's jump into it. I have a lot of notes. Harlem, you start. Like, what are you learning today from this Jane Doe that continued to be on the stand? How do you compare her from last week to today? Do you think she's stronger? She was stronger. What are your thoughts?
I don't know if I per se want to say that she was stronger. I just think that she was able to give more to her story because last week we only got a portion of,
Hey,
everything
Bridget,
that
put it
was
on
going
mute.
on.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So, oh, did he come?
And the heartbreaks, the grind and the glory.
Oh, that's
Okay, I
Bridget.
keep coming on.
Okay. So let me
This
see.
award isn't just about sales or streams.
I can't
I
get
don't know
this.
what's going on.
Yeah, my internet is acting crazy too. I can't get it off of there, so that's okay. We'll leave it like that.
She up there twice.
Right, and I don't even know how.
Mm. I'm having problems.
With me too. That's why I was so late. My internet was just kicking out, kicking out. I don't know why. Oh,
Yeah, but I think we just got more to her story today.
yeah. So let's talk about that. I think that she got more in depth into the story. So she talked about let's just jump in. She said she talked about like at the time, I'm just gonna pick up where she talked about the Cassie. Well, I guess we could just start here. She said he came to her apartment and somehow she was just frustrated with him at this time. And so when he bent over to tie his shoe, she hit him pushed his head and it went into the counter or whatever, and that just brought it out in him. So she took off running to her room. She locked the door. He kicked the door in. So she runs to the bathroom. He kicks that door off the hinges. She runs to the closet, and Montana said that's Cassie messed up the internet. She runs to the closet and he kicks that door in. And he, from there, he, just kind of started wailing on her. And she finally got away from him and she ran out the door barefooted. Like she kind of was able to change clothes when she was in the closet. I guess she was like, I got to try to somehow get away. And she runs out of the closet and run out the door. She runs about 6 blocks down the road, and she hides behind this building for, she said, what felt like 2 hours. She wasn't really keeping time, but she said it felt like 2 hours that she was hiding behind this visit. Okay, she wants a membership. So how does Harlem, tell her how to go to get the membership. It's not letting her go, but stay in the chat though, Bridget. We want to hear from you if you can. So anyway, Bridget, she'll put it in the chat how to get the membership. Okay. So anyway, she hides for about, she said, felt like 2 hours. And so she thought by this time he got to be gone. So she goes back up to the house. This man still there, hollering for her, hollering her name, gets in there, man, he whoops her. She said eventually she just balled up in a ball, and he was kicking and dragging her by her hair. Now, what does that sound like? And what's so crazy about him doing that, is this happened after the Cassie lawsuit came out, and it was spewed all over the internet, all over the newscast. And he was like, she said when that happened, so even after that and after the apology, he still did her the same way. But she was like, it was interesting that she talks about how she was at his house, and when she came down, like they was all in the backyard having breakfast or whatever. He was with his family, his sons, and everybody was there, and they were all trying to come up with a plan to put this apology out to Cassie for the video. So they kind of conjured up a plan, just like, you need to just kind of put this together and put it out and apologize. And Jane Doe was like, it sounded like it wasn't a sincere apology. And then they said objection. So they just kind of discounted that. But remember what I said, you can't unhear what you already heard, because that's what everybody thought that heard that apology, that it was not sincere. So he was back there with his family and they all conjured that up and he put that out. But even after that, he continued to fight her. He was like, like she was telling him, I do not want to be with you. Like I have to get away from you. Like my whole demeanor, my whole everything, I just feel nasty. I'm not your ho ho ho. And that's how you making me feel. And she was like, look how old you are, you know, and you just a P word. And, you know, talking about how he was with Young Miami. She said that she had got a hold of his phone and she called Young Miami while he was beating her up. And Young Miami was cussing her out, calling her all kind of names. And she was like, he's beating me right now. And he snatches the phone, he hangs the phone up. So Young Miami didn't have no remorse for her. She didn't care what she was talking about, right? Because I believe, again, that Young Miami don't really care. Like, just bring me the coins. Young Miami wanted the coins, and she was with whatever Diddy was with. That's just my opinion. So she said he was kicking in the doors. He was very obsessed with her. And she was just very horrified. She said the doors was split where he kicked the doors in. They was off the hinges. He kicked the doors off the hinges. And this was all while he was being indicted and the indictment was in full enforcement. She said he just continued to play mind games with her. Like he was playing with her mind. And she was like calling KK, and she was telling KK, do you understand what's going on? This man is a monster. He respects you. You need to sit down and you need to talk to him and tell him, you know, like what he's doing ain't right. KK kind of played it off. Oh, let me read what you wrote. Like, you know, and at one time, one of his assistants, like he had called over there and he was calling her all kind of B's and calling her out a name. And the assistant was like, you don't deserve to be called those names. But I didn't know if that was KK that said that, because she just said his assistant. But at this point, I'm gonna stop right here and talk about this. At this point, I think that like KK is all in the mix of everything. We keep saying it. She is a alleged co-conspirator. The prosecution all but said that's what she is. And either KK is gonna have to come clean, and it's sooner than later. Oh my gosh. Let me see. Bridget says she can't hear. I hope she saw your message. I hate that, because I really wanted to see what she had to say too. But anyway, so what are your thoughts so far, Harlem?
So the girl, I don't think it was Young Miami, because she said that the girl was under the age of 21 and she couldn't even afford to buy her own drinks.
That's right. But so what the consensus is that he had been messing with Miami way before then, and so maybe it wasn't her. But they say what the consensus are, what's alleged to be said, is that she had been messing with him. But I don't know that now. I don't know.
But it was another girl. I don't know if it was Chelsea, if that was her name, because I knew it was a girl, Chelsea. But when he was doing that white water rafting, it was a girl.
Yes,
I'm not sure if she looked Asian or something.
Yes. So when we saw those pictures of him water rafting, he was with her, and
right.
that's what we talked about. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry, my bad.
Yeah.
And then she said at one point it got so bad. I want you to talk about KK too. But she said at one point it got so bad that she she was talking about unaliving herself. Like she felt like she just was not worth it. So she said she told KK that she was traumatized, and KK was all in. She said that she only wanted her to pay. So she did what Diddy was like, had got mad at her and was like, because after the indictment came out, like he was like, he needed her to support her, and then he wanted her just to go on, and he was like, just tell me what you gonna charge me, like give me a number just to go away. So he was like trying to pay her to, I thought, and you correct me, I thought he was trying to pay her, just say, give me an amount that I'll pay you so that she wouldn't come and testify against him. But when I was listening to somebody else, they said they were saying, I just want you to go away. What is it going to cost me for you to go away? So I'm kind of confused at that part of it as well, since I wasn't in the room.
Yeah, I think it was that to go away and not testify. I think
Yeah,
that's what it basically was.
yeah.
Yeah.
And
Mhm.
so,
But
and so
but
yeah.
they they got her. I'm sorry.
No, that's me.
They got her from a video. Jane, they saw her on a video and they went to her and talked to her, what have you, and she was to testify or she would be charged.
Right. And so even after she had talked to the grand jury, so they found her and they went and talked to her. And even after they had talked to her, she still went and sat down with Diddy's team. And she said she sat down with them for a couple of times. And so they know the entire story. So she said she told them exactly what she told the grand jury, right? And she said, and then after that, they wanted her to come back. She was like, she was done. She had to, think about herself and do the right thing. And so she ended up testifying for the grand jury. So that's how she was. But with everything that so let's see. She had went so prior to that, like there was a guy, Cabral, I think, had got a copy of the tape of their ex tape, and he was threatening to give it to the big news outlets, right? And so she was like, Diddy was crying and all this stuff, and he ended up paying them and getting the video back. But he was like accusing her of having FOs. Like she had went to Vegas, and she said these were just really just friends that she went to Vegas with. But he accused her of joining in on an FO with some high profile celebrity or rapper or something. And so he got mad thinking that whoever it was trying to take his woman from him. But really that like he didn't treat her like he was her woman anyway. He was like, you came to do a job. I'm gonna pay your rent, you're gonna do your job. If you don't do your job and have these hotel nights, then I'm not gonna pay your rent. So in all of that she said today, and we're gonna continue talking more, but do we see witness intimidation? Do we see tampering with a witness? Do we see bribery? Do we see blackmail? Do we see X tape and violence? Like, I would say we see all of that now in this testimony. What do you say, Harlan? What do y'all think in the chat? Talk to us.
I'm gonna ask like he asked her. Is this coercion?
Right. So then he's like,
He asked her that.
I know. I was like, he is just so bold. Like, you gonna take this pill? Is this coercion? This man know what he doing. He knows.
He does.
But like, what came back to bite him in the butt was that he was recording. He was recording, and he asked her, was she recording? And she wasn't recording. And how I think they got the recording is from the tapes and stuff that they found at his house. And that's how he got it recorded, because she said she was not recording him. How else did they get it?
Right.
So yeah, so I think it was from his tape. So it just came back to bite him that he was saying all those things on the tape. Like, she didn't record him. Boy, if I cuss, I'd be cussing up a storm right now. You didn't. You sitting there with your stupid self recording, sneaking and recording, and then it comes back to bite you. And so that's how they found out. And then they play it out in court. But what really got me, what the big deal was for me today, there were a few things. The coercion thing, when he was like, is this coercion, and giving her pills, right? And then also where she said that him and his family, which probably we kind of probably knew, they just kind of said, okay, what we gonna do? When they came up and said, she said all of them was sitting around coming up with a plan for the apology. Like, that was a big deal to me. Like, I was like, whoa, they actually did that together as a family. So what else do they sit down and plan together, to lay out? And anyway, so let's move on.
But can I just say one thing about the apology?
Yeah.
Agnafilio, he said that he suggested that he not say Cassie's name because she was going to be a grand jury witness. But did he not just suggest don't do it because that apology was trash?
Because it was trash. Whether he said her name or not, everybody knew who he was talking about. Okay, fine. But like it was so like scripted. Like they sat down and put it together. It was scripted. It wasn't like from the heart. Because if you're giving an apology from the heart, you don't have to sit down and plan how I'm going to do this. Let me go. I was wrong, and now that it's out, let me man up and let me go and do a public apology. And it didn't come across like that.
Yeah. Yeah,
So
because I mean, the lawyer knew that they were doing it. I would just feel like the lawyer would say after he read it over, oh, I don't think this is a good idea.
right, it's odd. So Jane was she went with a friend and a rapper Anton sat in front of something people in the room. So she went to the hotel room, and I think she said when she got to the hotel room, Anton and somebody was in the room, and people were sitting around watching them have X in the room. And I think was it at that point that he thought she was a part of that?
I think so.
It could. I think that was the part where they was in. I'm not sure.
I
So let me
think
move on.
so.
But I really think that that's when she went in there, and then he thought, well, if they're in there doing that, you probably joined in too. But in January 2024, she wanted to do an OnlyFans. She said it wasn't going to be like a whole nudity thing. That's like you cover yourself up, and just rely on herself and not have to ask her friends for money. And he wasn't having that. And she said, so she never got to actually do the OnlyFans. But she really wanted, I really felt sorry for her, even though, like, yeah, she's a grown woman, and she knows right from wrong. But like, first of all, she was on drugs. He turned her out on drugs. And so she was on drugs. And so once she took the drugs, she wasn't in her sober mind. And she said that the pills made her feel like she wanted to do that, but she wanted him to be her man and she wanted time for him. So she continues to tell us that the reason that she made those choices to do it is that she wanted to please him. But at the end, towards the end of this, before he got arrested, which we'll talk about that in a second, like she was telling him over and over, I don't want to do this. Even before the Cassie lawsuit came out to the public, she was telling him, listen, I don't want to do this no more. Like she would not talk to him. She wouldn't answer the phone. He was like, oh, now you're giving me the silent treatment, and manipulating her and making her feel bad about things. And she would always give in. It was something about her always giving in. He even tricked her into saying, okay, it's your birthday. And let's do something. I know you want to do something special. And she was like, I'm just having nightmares about the other birthdays that you said that we would have special. And I ended up having to do hotel nights, only to go and be with him again. They have dinner. And guess what happens? They have another hotel night because they take X or Molly or whatever together. So she just continued to go along with that. But she said what else stood out to me is that she said right before he went to jail, he got picked up. She was getting ready to catch a flight to meet him out there, and they was getting ready to have a hotel night. And she said the only reason that she didn't go is because he was picked up that night. And she was on her way out to New York.
Right. And she would have been mad because the girl was with him. She wasn't in his room. She had her own room
She was
because
there.
it was her birthday weekend.
Yep. Yep.
Yeah,
So
because I found that out on I be on Lipstick Alley a lot.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
I had saw that posted on there.
Yeah. And so yeah, she would have just been, it just would have been horrible for her anyway. But because of he went to jail, that stopped her from going out there. And she did confirm today again that he is currently still paying her her rent. But she said at one time he told Robin, just stop giving her money, stop paying, stuff to his accountant. But yeah, he still was paying, as of today, still paying her rent where she lives. Her baby daddy came up a few times and he had threatened her that he was going to tell her baby, show her baby daddy all of the videos that they made, tell him everything. And she's just like, why would you do that? Like, you know, that that's not something I want you to do, but you know, Diddy being Diddy, which he didn't do it. And then,
But he's paying the lawyer fees too. Did you say that?
oh yes, no, I didn't, but it's in my
Yeah.
notes. And
Yeah,
he's
he's
not
paying the
only,
lawyer fees too.
but he's paying the lawyer fees too. See, he thought he could get her to talk to his lawyer, his team. Now, ain't that witness tampering after she didn't talk to the grand jury? Now you calling her, but I'm under the impression that the lawyers can talk to them, but like Diddy couldn't talk to her to see if this is really what she wanted to do. So
Right.
I don't know that it's witness tampering, but people threw that out there too. Like she had already talked to the grand jury, and then they came and they talked to her a few times, and then eventually she was like, "Just no, I can't. I'm not doing this. I'm not gonna sit. I'm not gonna come and testify for you. I'm not gonna go away. I'm gonna actually go through with." And I think she not only did I feel like she's still in love with Diddy. I think she did not. She don't want to do nothing to hurt him. But at this point, the grand jury, the government has already told her because of the tapes or whatever and the evidence that they had that this is my scenario. That because of all of that, either you're going to testify or you're going to be a co-conspirator. You may do some jail time. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, we talked about the
I think that's what they got her because she would be a co-conspirator because remember she was transporting as well.
Yes, yep. So that makes her a co-conspirator.
Yeah.
So she fronted Diddy about Cassie and Young Miami, and told him he was lying about it. Diddy said, "Nah, I was on a family trip," and she was like, "You wasn't, you P word, you wasn't on no family trip. You 25 years older than this woman, and you know she ain't even of drinking age." That's what we was talking about earlier. So I was thinking that was Young Miami, and that's what I wrote in my notes. So maybe it wasn't like you said, it wasn't Young Miami, it was somebody else. So we got that wrong. And then that's when they had that whole fight or whatever. And so anyway, she ended up when she got a hold of that phone and called Young Miami called her all kind of B's. She said, "You the bottom B." She says, "Shut up, B." Or something. Oh, she then Jane was like, told her to shut up because he's beating her right now or whatever. Diddy told her to shut up. And then Diddy took the phone and immediately hung up from Young Miami. My question is, did she just take his phone and call Young Miami? Like, how did she get his phone to call Young Miami? She said she ended up with 2 black eyes. She had knots on her head. And then he went and she got in the shower. And then he socked her 3 more times while she was in the shower. And she just fell down in the shower. And then after all of that, he tells her to go get dressed, put your heels on. We can ready to do this. After all that beating, so she had to go put makeup on all her scars and get dressed up. Gave her some X or Molly, whatever he gave her. And he was texting in the phone like it was Anton. He was texting him as though it was her. It was Diddy texting him, inviting him, but he made it look like it was her text messaging him and inviting her over there. So he came in and she said she knew that he was doing it because on her phone was connected to the TV and she could see that he was doing it. So anyway, she put the makeup on, covered all up, and then they had the little freak off. And that's when after that she went to Vegas with a rapper and his girlfriend, a popular rapper. I'm sitting here like, who could this be? Like a very popular rapper. And basically they was kind of doing the freak offs in Vegas. So Diddy got mad after that. She promised she did not do anything. Jane took a Molly and then did have relations with Anton. She said she don't want to do it. She didn't want to do it here. He's like in her face, just like take this pill, take this. She was like, and she just took the pill. And then she had to perform with Diddy. But she also talked about this black bottle of liquid that he gave her. And she said, whatever that liquid is, like she performed like no other. Like, I don't know what this liquid was in this bottle, but he gave her a bottle of something in a black. I mean, he gave her some liquid in a bottle, and that just like she was a whole nother person. And she said she performed like no other. Now I can't imagine what was in that bottle. So anyway, she had performed with while Diddy watched, and then they excused Anton, and then he said she was cheating on him, and then called her a ho ho ho. And then January 9th, they picked him up. Diddy did. Oh, somebody came and picked him up. His security guard picked him up, and then he just left her after all that. And then when he excused Anton, he didn't even pay Anton. And then later on, though, his head of security, whoever that was, Fahad, what's his name?
Fahim, is it Fahim?
Had showed up with the money to go ahead and pay him. And then he gave her like $10,000 to $12,000 to pay Antron. And then she was supposed to get her doors fixed that he messed up. But instead of, and on June the 19th, 2024, she called her Uber. Oh, he came over there, and then he brought the money over there. She took a picture of the license plate number. She took a picture of the money. But she used the doors to pay her bills and get caught up. I mean, she used the money to pay her bills and get caught up. She didn't get the doors fixed that he had kicked in. And then after all of that, he manipulates her back in. After she had, the black eyes, tried to cover up. She was at his house. They was taking pictures and selfies, and she wasn't necessarily taking pictures of the bruises, but it was so you could see them so good. I mean, you couldn't help, you know what I'm saying? She couldn't, even with makeup, she couldn't cover it up. That's how bad it was. That's crazy. It says she had bruises, black bruises and knots all over her forehead. They took a selfie June the 22nd, 2024. She was with her son, out with her son, and there were some pictures that was seen, and she was all beat up then. And this is when they talk about the water rafting with another woman, and I think that's who it is, where we saw that July 25th, 2024. She said they got together. She went and met him. She went to the hotel. They had dinner and stayed up all night, and she felt really dizzy that next morning. And he just took a water bottle because she wasn't feeling good that next morning and started dousing water all over her. I don't know what that was going to do. She said she didn't feel good. And then she took an E-pill, got high, and told him, I miss Paul. Oh, and so what happens then? Another freak off, because the E-pill makes her feel like she wants to FO, I guess, a freak off. And she said, then they went to Two Star Island, and there was liquid Molly or liquid sniff, that's in the bottle that happened on. So she said, and that's when they called Paul. That's who it was. It was Paul. They called Paul over there where she had performed like never before. She said she felt like he was in love with her for a while. Because she was in his bathroom and he was consoling her and listening to her and how she was like, I don't want to do this no more. I'm hurt. My body's hurt. And then she said the very last freak off was with Dawn, September the 9th, 2024. And he called her and he was like, send me some of those pictures. Send me some pictures. She said, you already have pictures. He's like, I got those, but I want more pictures. And then she was like, she was supposed to meet him September 2024, in New York City, but then he got arrested, and that was that. Let me see if I have anything else up there.
They finished with the government finished with her today, right?
Yes, so it's going to be cross-examining tomorrow, which is, that's going to be interesting too, to see.
Did they say which lawyer is going to cross-examine her?
I don't know yet. I haven't heard yet. But if it's Brian still, she better put her seatbelt on.
Even if it's Nicole, that's why I asked.
If it's Nicole, she better put her seatbelt on because they ready.
Yeah.
Yep. After she was summoned by the grand jury, she met with Diddy's team. They wanted to meet, but she did not. And that was it. Forced intoxication, forced X, freak offs, coercion, bribery. Do we have that yet? Do we have all of those yet, Harlem?
I think so. And I don't know if I'm thinking about the mistrial. I had to think about it because I
Yep.
heard somebody mention that the mistrial, it gives the defense a chance to see the information, the witnesses, everything that the government is bringing forth. So if they call for a mistrial and they get it granted, then it gives them a chance to start all over again and they know how to fight the case.
Oh. Huh.
So
Well,
I'm wondering if that's their strategy behind this, because he wouldn't be released because he was never granted bail. He would still get held. They would just start the process of the trial over
well
and get a new jury.
I thought once it's a mistrial, you go home. Why would they still
Mm-mm.
hold him? But why would they still hold him?
They would still hold him because he never got a bail.
But that doesn't matter if it's a mistrial.
Because they have to start the process over again.
Why? I
Because
guess
if it's a mistrial, they have to start the process all over again, getting a new jury. So they're
yeah,
not
but
going to let him out because he never got a bail and he was witness tampering.
it just don't feel right. They don't. This okay. I don't know about how I feel about that. Because I feel like a mistrial is done and it's over. He leaves, and if they want to pick it back up and start over, then that's when they start the process. They arrest him again or whatever if they have enough evidence. Like you don't hold him and say, "Hold on, let us get our stuff together, and then we're gonna start the process over." If it's a mistrial, I thought you just walked.
Yeah, because the mistrial, that just is that the jury is going to be dismissed
Okay, and Bridget's saying
because
the
they
same
need.
thing. She's saying that if it's a mistrial, it's just a chance for a new trial, and he would have to ask for bail. I didn't know that. I thought, okay, y'all know more than I do. I don't know, but
Yeah,
okay,
so and they haven't given him a bail because he asked for a bail what 3 times and he
yeah,
got denied.
he got denied. But I don't know why. I just thought that if it's a mistrial, you get to go. Oh, good. I'm glad she can hear. Did you see how they become a member, BFF? Um. So anyway, so like I was thinking, Harlem, tomorrow they walk in there and the judge didn't saw both sides. This is just a scenario. Judge sees both sides and judge agrees with the defense and was like, this is granted. The mistrial has been granted. Boom, hit the little thing. Did he go get dressed and his kids and them pick him up?
I don't know.
That's what I thought a mistrial was. Like, what the heck? Are we going to let me sit here again just to start all over? Now, what
Ye-
in what case, Bridget, have you seen where a mistrial has happened and somebody had to sit there and wait for them to start over?
Yeah, because it's like, for him to ask for a mistrial, the trial is almost over because the prosecution is going to rest. Defense is going to take over. We looking at another, what, 3, 4 weeks at the most. So if you're innocent, you 4 weeks closer to getting out.
Mm,
Opposed to a mistrial, you got to start everything all over again.
okay, that's interesting. Well, then I guess he'll be sitting there. I thought he got out. Well, then they might as well just keep going.
Right.
So anyway, you guys, thank you for coming. Like, hit the like button. Bridget, this is what she said. She said, you click where you see join. It should be right next to the like button. So when you hit the like button, you should see join. right there. If not, I can
Yeah,
send you.
yeah, well, if she goes out to the page, it should be a join there.
Yeah. So if you go to your YouTube and search the Black Link Experience, you'll see it there too, and it'll say join, like to the landing page. So tomorrow, the Jane Doe will be cross-examined. I'll be interested in seeing who's after her. I'm not sure that they'll be done with her tomorrow. If they're going to be just all day, morning and afternoon, and be done, I don't know what that looks like now. So nothing that I predicted has happened as far as the mistrial. Because today I thought it was going to happen, but the prosecution was like, we're getting there. We'll get it to you today. We'll talk about it tomorrow. Like the prosecution for me was, I think they got a win today with this witness, and this is why I think that is because I think she was a little bit stronger today. I think she was a little bit stronger witness than the last two witnesses that they had, and I think that we're starting to see the coercion. We see, what did I say? We see the coercion. We see the bribery. For sure, it's bribery in there. So we're starting to see all the things needed. I love me some Tisa Tales. Like she was like, y'all can think what y'all want. That mofo ain't getting out. She was not playing. Y'all,
You see Bridget's comment?
what she say? He has to make bail. No, I didn't say. Okay, he has to make bail, and they are not going to let him out. That's true. Okay, I will. Yep. So I didn't know that. I did not know that, and so they're not giving him a bond because of the witness tampering, like he was doing right before even they picked him up. He was doing that, and he's in the courthouse. So did y'all see where the reporters were in the courtroom that talked about? I think you sent it to me, Harlem. The reporters are sitting in the courtroom. He's turning around and staring them down almost. And like for 7 minutes long, just staring at him. And then like he motioned in his mouth and said, I know you. Like who does that in court? You are over here fighting for your life. And you looking around talking about, I know you, and staring them down like trying to put fear. I don't know if that's what his intention was, but she was like, he stared at us or passed us to whoever else for 7 minutes and then kind of like pointed like, I know you, not like pointed you, I know you, but just kind of motioned like, I know you. And that was kind of just freaky. They said he's been doing that though.
Yeah, they say he's been doing that from the beginning. He looks at the people that are in the news media, the public that are sitting there, and if it's somebody he hasn't seen before, he may just stare at them.
Yep. He's crazy. He's crazy. That's funny. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, that's where we are. I learned something new tonight because I really thought the opposite of what y'all are saying. So I learned something new. Anyway, I just wanted, as always, had to come in and we had to talk about it, about what happened today, and just be prepared tomorrow. I meant to look to see if I can find. Let me see if I know who's going to be cross-examining her tomorrow. Cross-examining Jane Doe.
And I didn't understand why he was paying rent for her anyway, because he has properties, Bad Boy has properties, because remember Cassie was living in a condo that was owned by Bad Boy.
But she did mention, she said it was his house too. She said it was his house too. But yeah, but why would he be paying $10,000 though? But she was like, it was
Yeah.
both of our houses, so he could get in if he wanted to, because he was calling her saying, "You gonna let me in? Are you gonna let me in or not?" And he could have got in anyway if he wanted to. She said because it's both of their house.
He had her over the moon because she just kept saying her partner.
He did. Like he took control of her whole mind, body, and soul. He did. And she just couldn't let go. She couldn't shake him.
No, she couldn't. And I think she still hasn't shook him for
I think
real.
I think she's still in love with this man. And I believe that if because it was just before he went to jail. I mean, this is recent. This ain't like years ago, like Kathy. This was just recent. And he only reason they ain't still interacting is because he's in jail because she was on her way to meet him. This just saved her life, I think, from having FOs. So anyway, it didn't show me who was cross-examining tomorrow. So we'll be up bright and early. What did we say, Montana? You can believe what? But anyway, we'll be up bright and early to see who's going to be cross-examined and see what the day is going to bring us tomorrow. I'll come back in the morning. We'll go live for just a hot minute and we'll just continue to follow the case. Again, thank you guys for being here. Thank you to all my members, all of those who think they want to be a member, thinking about it. Bridget will figure it out somehow. She'll get it to it. Is Kathy still? Thank you, Harlem. Harlem gifted there's another gift. She gifted one membership. So if you get a membership for interacting in the chat, then thank Harlem for doing that. Thank you, Harlem. You're just amazing. I promise to God you are.
Oh, you're welcome.
We're going to get this thing together. So, Harlem, you know the one that wrote the book about Diddy? Relentless or something like that?
Uh-huh.
Reach back. So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. So, see, that would be like exclusive. That's the things we're talking about, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, we're gonna get there. We're gonna keep striving. We're gonna keep getting there. Again, we're gonna go for now. See y'all in the morning. Thank you, Harlem, for everything that you do. Thank you, Montana. I'm gonna give you a wrench. Bridget, I'm about to give you a wrench and I'll tell you how to work it and what you need to do with this wrench, okay? So hold on. I think I can I give it to her now? I don't think I can do it from here. Oh, look, I put her thing up. Anyway, I can't. I'll do it to you. I mean, I'll give it to you as soon as I can. When I see you on, I'll give you the wrench so you can be a moderator for the channel as well. Other than that, y'all, I hope y'all have a good night, and I shall see all y'all.
Alberta too.
I'll see all of y'all. You have Alberta has one, don't you? Oh, Alberta needs a wrench. Okay, I got you. And then so Alberta and Bridget. And then I'll see y'all tomorrow. I was going to say something, but I got distracted. Good night, Montana. I hope you have a good night. Good night, everybody. I'll see y'all here tomorrow with y'all's friends and y'all's cousins and y'all's nieces and y'all's nephews and everybody that's of age on this channel tomorrow.
Good night.
Good night.